So one element of this is just personal and autobiographical. I trained as a moral philosopher before I ever dreamt of becoming a rabbi. And I had the enormous privilege in Cambridge and Oxford in the late 60s and early 70s to be tutored by three of the greatest philosophers of our age. My undergraduate tutor, who sadly just died a week ago, was Sir Roger Scruton. My doctoral supervisor in Cambridge was Sir Bernard Williams, widely thought of as the greatest moral philosopher of the day. And in Oxford, it was Philippa Foot who led the whole movement back to virtue ethics and who created what has become 50 years or 60 years later, very popular, the thing called the trolley problem, or would you push the fat man off the bridge to save lives? That was Philippa Foot's invention. So they were tremendous influences on me. I mean, that was where my career was going to go until I suddenly realized there was other urgent stuff to do within the Jewish community. Secondly, I have a passion for ideas and taking them from the academic world into the public square. And in Britain, the BBC is a really good way of doing this. And I've been working with the BBC radio and television for well over 30 years. I delivered something called the Wreath Lectures, which Bertrand Russell was the first to give, way back in 1990. So I've been dealing with this a long time. Thirdly, I felt exactly as you do that things are going wrong in the liberal democracies of the West. People are very divided. So could we engage in this very embracing conversation? The world's leading academics in different fields, whether it was political philosophy, Mike Sandel, or science like a Steven Pinker, or sociology, Robert Putnam, people on the cutting edge of the new social media, Jean Twenge from San Diego, who wrote the book iGen on the impact of smartphones and social media on young people, to the experts in artificial intelligence, to Nick Bostrom, who coined the word superintelligence, and Mustafa Suleyman, who co-created DeepMind, and philanthropists like Melinda Gates, and bring them all into an embracing conversation, looking at the issues we're facing. We then did a beautiful thing, which wasn't my idea, it was actually our producer's idea, of getting young people from schools, 17, 18-year-olds from 4 different schools, sitting in the studio, listening to the interviews and giving their reactions to the interviews. And according to everyone, they were the stars. And that was very thrilling for me because it gives us a lot of hope for the next generation. And to take this conversation that might have been a little, recherche and take it through the BBC. They gave it pretty much prime time. And they gave us a lot of time, 5 45-minute programs, which were all talk. So we brought it to many millions of people. So I love the idea of taking academic ideas and bouncing them off young people and then inviting everyone in Britain who feels like it to join the conversation.